Vasco da Gama, a Portuguese sailor, discovered the sea route in India in 1760. After that, sailors from various European countries started to come to India. Their main purpose was business. The fine quality of cotton and silk produced in India had a greater market in Europe. Also, cardamom, pepper, clove, and cinnamon are in great demand. Competition among European companies regarding the business started soon, and that ultimately led to the fierce battle. Portugal established its trading settlement at Goa, Cochin, Diu, and Daman. By threatening Mughal shipping, the Portuguese also succeeded in securing many trading concessions from the Mughal Emperor. In the latter half of the 16th century, England, Holland, and France started to increase their commercial and naval power to stop the monopoly of Spanish and Portuguese in world trade. Dutch East India Company was formed in 1602 and showed their interest in the Indonesian island. They conquered Sri Lanka from the Portuguese in 1658. They also established their trading depot at Surat, Bhuj, Cambay, and Ahmedabad in Gujarat, Cochin in Kerala, Nagapattam in Madras, etc. An English company was formed in 1599 to trade with the East. The company, popularly known as East India Company, was granted a royal charter and exclusive privilege to trade in the East by Queen Elizabeth on 31st December 1600. In 1662, the Portuguese gave the island of Bombay to King Charles II of the England as a dowry for marrying a Portugal princess. In 1623, the English East India Company had established factories in Surat, Bhuj, Ahmedabad, and Agra. In 1698, the company acquired the zamindari of the three villages Sutanuti, Kalikata, and Govindapur, where it built Fort William around its factory. The villages later came to be known as Calcutta. In 1770, the company secured from the Emperor Farrukh Shah a foreman which granted the company the freedom to export and import their goods in Bengal without paying taxes. But employees of the company started to misuse Dastaks for their private business. Nawabs like Murshid Quli Khan, Alivardi Khan opposed the firman. They refused to grant the company concession, demand large tributes for their company's right to trade, denied it any right to mint coins, and stopped it from extending its fortifications. The matter came to a head in 1756 when young and quick-tempered Siraj-ud-Dowla succeeded his grandfather Alivardi Khan. Hostility between Nawab and company continued to grow regarding taxation. Without Nawab permission, British company began to fortify Calcutta in expectation of the coming struggle with French. This time French were stationed at Chandannagar. The Nawab asked both to demolish their fortification, but the English company refused to do so. After negotiation failed, the Nawab marched with 30,000 soldiers to the English factory at Kasim Bazar and occupied Fort William on 20th June 1756. On hearing the news of the fall of Calcutta, company officials in Madras sent forces from Madras came a strong naval and military force under Admiral Watson and Robert Clive. Clive conquered Calcutta in the beginning of 1757 and compelled the Nawab to concede all the demand of English. The English were not satisfied. They presented the Nawab with an impossible set of demands. Both realized that war can solve this problem. They made for battle on the field of Plassey on 25 June 1757. Nawab lost the battle as major part of the army led by Mir Jafar and Raebareli lost its north of Mughal. Nawab was forced to flee and was captured and put to death by Mir Jafar's son Mir. After the victory, English proclaimed Mir Jafar the Nawab of Bengal. The company was granted the undisputed right to free trade in Bengal, Bihar and Orissa. It also received the zamindari of 24 parganas near Calcutta. Mir Jafar paid a sum of rupees 1,77 lakh as compensation. But soon Mir Jafar discovered that it was impossible to meet the demand of the official of the company. In October 1760, the company forced Mir Jafar to abdicate the throne in favor of his son-in-law Mir Qasim. Mir Qasim was an efficient and strong ruler. He started to build strong army with foreign help. He also abolished all duties on internal trade. So tension grew up and war started. Mir Qasim was defeated in a series of wars and fled to Awadh, where he allied with Shuja-ud-Dawla and Shah Alam II. Alliance clashed with the company's army at Buxar on 22nd October 1764 and was defeated. This was one of the most decisive battles of Indian history, as it demonstrated superiority of English arms over the combined army of two of the major Indian powers. It firmly established the British as masters of Bengal, Bihar and Orissa and placed Awadh at their mercy.